It's time now for Upon Further Review, brought to you by Ogeechee Technical College, Education with Purpose, and by Dr. Lincoln Lippincott with the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro. And now, here they are, Josh Aubrey and Nate Hirsch.
And we're happy to welcome you in. It's a brand new week of Upon Further Review, along with Josh, part of the Statesboro Herald's online team, and my cohort in misery on Saturday afternoon. This is Nate. We're up top of ERA, Hirsch Real Estate Team, buying or selling real estate. Talk to the experts. They're downstairs at ERA, Hirsch Real Estate Team. Thank goodness we're taping the show on Monday.
And not Saturday night.
And not Saturday after the game.
Yeah.
It was as humbling an experience as I've had in many a moon. And as we were texting each other back and forth, you were helping me get through my misery.
Well, in my opinion, it's one thing to have struggled through a couple of the seasons, the Van Gorder era, and even when the Frank Elwood era as well. Those seasons were tough.
Right.
This one to me was worse, even to me worse than the West Georgia loss and the Central Connecticut loss, because both of those games were close.
That's
at
exactly
least.
Yeah.
They were close. Now, should you have lost to those teams? No, never. But Georgia State being dismissed so easily by many of our fans. I think the bowl maybe got into a lot of players' heads and the talk of the bowls, and it was kind of, Georgia State game was kind of an afterthought, it seemed to me, in hindsight.
Right.
But to get humbled, to get beaten down like that, and never really threatened to score even in the second half. Never really threatened, even though we had great field position much of the second half. That was disheartening with a team that I think is a pretty good team getting beaten like that at home.
Yeah, I don't know why. Somehow in my mind going into the game, I never dreamed Georgia Southern was going to lose to Georgia State.
I'm looking at last week's spread. 21-point favorites.
Right.
Vegas thought it was going to be a blowout.
Now,
One of us picked Georgia State, but I didn't think it was going to be a close game.
I talked obviously at length before the game with Dave Cohen and the Georgia State radio crew that was there, and they were telling me, hey, we've won 4 of our last 6, shouldn't have lost that game to Lafayette, the Liberty game, and enough. But now the players from UAB that transferred in are starting to figure it out. When you saw the linebacker play, and you saw some of the guys on defense, what they had done to adjust to our offense, it was day and night from last year. And I've watched a lot of them, and I've been telling you, they're playing pretty good. But it's, you're watching them against the other teams in the Sun Belt, and I knew Arbuckle was throwing it all over the place.
Well, and they started the year by losing to
They lost to Charlotte.
So you're not thinking that kind of a team can come in here and not only win, but just manhandle Georgia Southern the way they did. And you also brought up something to me that I've heard from a few other people, and that was the way Georgia State entered the field, the way their players just seemed, now maybe fired up isn't the right word because maybe they were a little over the top, but there was emotion for sure. They wanted to come in here and prove something, and I'd say that it is now a rivalry.
Well, that's what's unthinkable, because they've only been playing football since 2010.
And took them how long to win an FBS game? This year.
That's right. I mean, and we understand Trent Miles. And the only reason I kind of like the guy, you remember when we saw him a couple of years ago in Macon when he first took over, because I went up to him because he's an Indiana State alum.
Yeah, I know.
Who went back and coached there and straightened them out.
By the way, this is Larry Bird's birthday, Indiana State reference. I had to get that out of the way.
Thank you. But, he talked to me briefly there. I think he didn't realize what he got himself into, because they really don't, facility-wise, forget where they play, but I'm talking about what else he's got to work with. Then he realized what he was left with players. So
well, he sure has been getting in a few digs since the game.
that was unnecessary after the game to say the deal. He basically said it took them 34 years to go to a bowl, and it took them six. You know, it didn't take them 6 because they weren't eligible until last year, and so Georgia Southern wasn't eligible. So all that stuff aside,
if we were going to lose to a game and lay down, why couldn't we have done it last week to South Alabama so that we could have possibly played in the Cure Bowl instead? Give them their 6th win.
Okay.
And they almost won.
And, you know, we always, off the air, he always offers me these things like, all right, I'm going to give you your choice. You can beat Georgia, but you're going to have to lose to Georgia State.
I did tell you that. That's true.
What did I say? No.
And it almost happened.
I know. I said, no, please, no. Please,
that is
no.
what I said.
Meanwhile, they were as fired up as any team. And again, you know, I'm sitting, I think about my seats, and they're great seats.
You're right next to the fans from Georgia State.
But I can't tell what's going on the home side. And that's why I texted you earlier. I couldn't.
What happened to Breida?
Well, I mean, I can't see that he's out, you know, and obviously they hit him.
Yeah, Wesley Fields was hurt too.
See, I didn't know that till after the game. And so we're playing basically, you know,
with one running
back, L.A. Ramsby, and I guess we decided that Thornton is not good enough to put in the game.
I don't know. He scored a touchdown the week before.
But we chose not to do that.
That's true.
But when you lose a game like that, all the little things that go wrong are magnified.
It's dropping a stone in a pond.
The jumping off side twice, on that one drive.
And that led to a touchdown.
Dropping
multiple,
several passes.
Deep passes.
One that looked like it would have been a touchdown.
Would have been a touchdown.
And again, I guess Bird didn't play. I was trying to. I can't see the lineman a lot of times up close. So we ended up starting 2 freshmen on the offensive line, and we got beat up. Second half was a beatdown.
And it was much like the West Virginia game in that the defense, maybe they didn't play a very good game, but the fact that they're on the field the entire game, it seemed like, you're going to wear down.
I know.
And when they did, Arbuckle sure was there to take advantage.
Great crowd. 23,500,
crowd.
almost a full house, and everybody was kind of stunned. I guess Josh could see with 9 minutes to go how many people were leaving.
9 minutes to go. I shot the crowd.
I sat there till the bitter end, took it all in.
You go, Nate.
Watched Georgia State celebrate afterwards.
With the flag on the field.
Take pictures in front of the scoreboard.
Why didn't we shut the scoreboard off, by the way?
That would have been a good
I guess that's
move.
going to get somebody mad. I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
Should have done that.
You know what it was? It was a quick payback from what happened a year ago in the Dome. Meanwhile, I found out, as a lot of the players found out, the sun did come up on Sunday.
It did.
Okay. Life's going to go on. Somehow we got to get in the holiday spirits. And we're going to a bowl game, and Bowling Green thinks they've been slighted. I'll talk about that in a moment. But first, a quick reminder. When you need legal advice in the Statesboro, Bullitt County area, we have the man for you to call on, and that is Lovett Bennett Jr., attorney at law, PC. Lovett's office located in downtown Statesboro. We're back with more in a moment on Upon Further Review.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $5,000 off 2016 Camrys or buy 2016 Corollas from $16,495.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Do you ever wonder what that 15% savings cost you in service?
What's the name on the account?
My name is Mary, M-A-R-Y.
Who is this?
Mary.
Oh,
My
okay.
name is Mary.
Right.
Are you even listening to me?
Sure.
At Glenn Davis Insurance, we get to know you as a person. To us, you're not just another number. Together with Auto Owners Insurance, we can develop an insurance plan tailored to your specific needs. Glenn Davis and Associates. Call or come by today.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $7,000 off 2015 Avalons or get up to $6,000 off 2015 Prius.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Well, Josh, before I forget, we do have some of the inventory that they have over at the bookstore now as you're looking for some things to get.
Starting to get a little cool, maybe? Maybe?
Maybe. It'll probably be cool in Mobile.
I do believe.
For a night game anyway. So got a couple of nice sweatshirts there, and I'll show you some things later on in the week, some gift items for the kids also. We got some books and everything. Gus has written a book.
And the Cole Swindell collection,
It's
of course.
there. It's there. All right. So Georgia Southern, they couldn't keep a secret anyway. Josh thought.
How often does this happen? You know,
the-
whether it's Coach Fritz being hired, Munkin leaving,
Anyway.
Paul Johnson, they try to hide things. We've known it for.
But they couldn't release it till Sunday. So anyway, so they released it Sunday, obviously officially, that Georgia Southern goes to Mobile to play Bowling Green. And Bowling Green is trying to
They're
figure out.
upset, aren't they?
Well, they are the MAC champions, okay?
They're the Mac Daddies,
They are, but seriously, they've won 10 games this year.
and they're going to play a
And
team
they're
that
playing
just
a
got
team,
beat.
team that just has lost 4 is how they're taking it. Plus, I didn't realize the MAC got 7 bids, and they get sent to Western Michigan's going to the Bahamas.
Bahamas, yeah.
They got another group going to the Boca Raton Bowl. Another one going to Miami for a bowl.
Mobile.
Another one going, and we're playing Georgia Southern. So
But that might end up being in Georgia Southern's favor. Who knows?
and
If
their
they're
coach,
upset about
coach
being-
announced he will not coach the bowl game. Barber's got the head coaching job at Syracuse. Only
Yep.
stayed 2 years at Western Michigan. So it winds up though for the Sun Belt teams. And I thought the final scores of the games this weekend were pretty interesting when you think about.
App State was losing that game with 6 minutes to play. They were down by 3.
Had to come back and scored in
They
the final
scored a
minute.
field goal and a 50-yard field goal, and then it was 4th and 10. They had to go for it on
Right.
the last drive, and they end up winning that game. And
Kept South Alabama out.
I mean, it really could have been. You had 5 teams,
Yeah.
and 2 huge upsets.
And they would have sent them somewhere else because obviously they took 3
They
teams.
had to get another.
They had 3 teams with losing records that
That's right.
got into the bowls. So South Alabama would have gotten in. Meanwhile, so the bowls are set, okay? Obviously, and by the way, oh my, Arkansas State, did you see how upset they want Commissioner Benson fired, okay?
Because
They win the championship.
and who they're playing.
No, they win the
Yeah, they
championship,
did.
okay? No one from the Sun Belt was there to present it. They sent they mailed them the trophy. They said, "Here, present it to yourself." They are just
Wow.
they thought, "Okay, Benson said he couldn't make it. He had a commitment."
Isn't there an assistant commissioner that could have went?
There's 4 others certainly on the staff. They couldn't believe no one could be there. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because all they're posting is the picture of Georgia Southern celebrating last year.
Oh, yeah.
They said, who basically has been the standard bearer for this conference, and they have been
Yeah,
in
you could-
football
yes.
as successful as anybody in the last 10 years. They talked about how,
Well, them and Troy, actually, I would say.
right, but certainly for the
Oh,
last 5
recent-
or 6, they have,
recently.
Lafayette and them were going every year, but they just thought, oh my, no one to present it. They had to
I
present it to
didn't know
themselves.
that. That's pretty interesting.
Go look on that underdog
Yeah.
dynasty thing and see what happened there. Meanwhile, so they get sent to play in the New Orleans Bowl. It's 9 p.m. on ESPN, our time, on December 19th, and they draw Louisiana Tech.
Tough team.
Tough matchup, but that will make for a great crowd.
You would think.
You would think certainly in the Dome. Earlier, before that game, the other games are double headers. At 5:30,
Yeah.
the
It's a Sun Belt triple header.
that's the Camellia Bowl in Montgomery. App State drawing Ohio University, who wound up 8-4 on the season. And App State, very excited.
Yeah.
Their first 10-win season.
That's very
You know,
big.
since obviously
Well,
since
they won
moving
back
up.
to back to back.
Yes, 3 straight national championships. But so anyway, so they draw Ohio University, and then the Cure Bowl, which has now been moved to noon.
The one that we wanted to go to.
You know, it's on CBS
Georgia
Network.
State.
Georgia State gets San,
They beat us at home and then said, nah, we took your bowl too.
and we're going to
And
Florida.
they're getting more money now.
San Jose State, talk about making somebody come a long way to. But
Yep.
that's the basic bowls. So congrats to Arkansas State though. 8-0, they ran the table this year in the league. App State finished 7-1. The Eagles, we know, finished 6-2, and Georgia State 5-3. The rest of the crowd really struggled. 3-5, 3-5,
Oh, yeah.
3-5.
And those
you know.
teams like Lafayette that
Yep.
people picked second or third in the conference.
So that's how it wound up. We do have, by the way, not today, we won't talk about it. I think the way the bowls got matched up, and our wrap, we can talk about the college football playoff, but there's actually some interesting bowl games going on. And your
Exhibition games.
old boys, Middle Tennessee, get to go to the Bahamas.
Yes, they do.
All right. We will, the highlights you've already seen as we were talking, so we're going to get some of the post-game comments. That's coming up next on Upon Further Review.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $5,000 off 2016 Camrys or buy 2016 Corollas from $16,495.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you. Well, Josh, everybody was stunned. You had to go in there and hear the comments from Coach Fritz and several of the players who basically were also just stunned.
It was the quickest from the time the game has ended to the time the post game began that I can recall. He got in, got up, got out as quick as he could. But in the meantime, we were able to ask a few questions. Here's a little bit from the post game from Coach Fritz and a couple of the players.
I mean, just execution is what it really all came down to. I mean, some points in the game we were hitting right guys and on our right assignments, but we didn't finish and follow through throughout the whole entire game. They had a lot to play for coming into this game. I mean, they had won like their last 3 games as well. So, I mean, it's a completely different team from last year. I think they got a lot of JUCO guys and a lot of those guys from UAB as well. So it's not at all the same team that we played last year.
We just got outplayed. We didn't execute when we had to, when the time really mattered. We didn't match their energy level. It's shocking. I mean, all week we practiced hard and we prepared to come out here and play a great football game. But things just didn't. I want to say it didn't go our way, and we didn't put ourselves in position to get it to go our way. They didn't get in our head. Coach Fritz told us, every time we came out from the sideline, play our game. Can't let them, all that talking and unsportsmanlike conduct. It just, when it came down to execute, we didn't get the job done.
It's extremely tough. We got a winning tradition here, especially at home. Makes it tough, but I mean, you got to get over it. We got a big game coming up here in a few weeks in a bowl game wherever we go, so you got to get prepared for that. You never want to make judgments as soon as the game's over. You want to go back and watch the tape and see what we did wrong, but we obviously just didn't execute enough.
Oh, just very disappointed. Got out coached, got out played. Thought we had a decent week of preparation. Obviously, they've done a nice job of working on us and really did a good job of defending the option. I thought they won up front, both sides of the ball, and we just didn't play the way we needed to play. Had some opportunities in the first half. I was hoping we had an opportunity to score. That last series in the first half, we throw the pick. Then we also had, we were receiving the opening kickoff, and basically I think we went 3 and out, punted them. They scored that series, and that kind of gave them a lot of momentum in the second half. So told our guys, I'm disappointed. They're disappointed. The only silver lining, I guess, in the whole deal is we get an opportunity to play again. I thought the guys were ready to play when we went out there, but we just didn't execute very well. And there's a bunch of calls I'd like to have back that we could have, that I'd like to have had different, but you don't get that opportunity. Hindsight's 20/20. I can call it a real good game after the play's over. Well, they're well schooled in the option. I think watching them from the sideline, they got good athletes. No question about that. Tall, long, fast, quick. We knew that coming into the game. And they obviously done a lot of work on us, and it paid off. And defensively, I thought we played pretty good for a period of time. And then gave up a couple big plays there early, and the first touchdown and then the second touchdown, and then they started running the ball on us, and that was disappointing. I thought there was time in there they just kind of took what they wanted to take from us, and that was disappointing. We got some time off. That's good, I feel like we got really good young men to represent our program, and those guys are going to
Well, Nate, hopefully, just like us, they got over it, and now they're focused on the bowl game and can have a good showing out there.
Yeah.
Got a couple weeks to get ready.
And you went out there Sunday afternoon and had a little availability.
They seemed to still a little prickly, but it was better.
They got time to get over it now.
Yes, they do.
2 weeks before another game. All right, we had a lot of high school basketball. We'll talk about that in our high school segment. It's coming up next on Upon Further Review.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $7,000 off 2015 Avalons, or get up to $6,000 off 2015 Prius.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Tired of being tired? Do you start and end the day completely worn out? You may have obstructive sleep apnea. Dr. Lippincott at the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro can give you an evaluation and explain the new non-invasive procedure that has helped so many in our area. Call for an appointment or be on the lookout for one of our free seminars. The Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro, part of Statesboro ENT, 120 South Zetterauer Avenue. And it's time now for our high school segment presented by Ogeechee Technical College. Hey, congratulations. OTC wins as the Technical School of the Year in the state. Congrats to folks at OTC. We'll look at some basketball action after we look at this from OTC.
I'm Philip Byrick. I'm Dr. Tyler Bergner. I graduated from Ogeechee Technical College, and I'm finishing my bachelor's degree at Georgia Southern University. I am a resident physician at Memorial University Medical Center. I am OTC.
Every student is unique. Whether you're interested in dual enrollment, an associate degree, or earning credit toward a higher degree, a diploma, or certificate, Ogeechee Tech can help you build a strong foundation for your future. Visit ogeecheetech.edu to find out how you can go anywhere from here.
Well, lots of games to choose from last week, but I know you wanted to get the game with two teams from the county were playing.
Always good when we see the county having a couple of games, so that means we can kill two birds with one stone. Statesboro traveling to Portal. They'll play at home this week. Let's get out and see some highlights from that matchup. An inter-county matchup in Portal as Statesboro Blue Devils paid a visit to Panther Arena. Ladies first, and the Blue Devils going inside. Kisana Rollins stops and pops off the glass. Next, off the inbounds, it's Jaslyn Joseph finding the bank open late. Blue Devils by 15. The Panthers fight back. Chandelier Morgan with the long three, but apparently not long enough, as the next time she cans the NBA three-pointer. Portal with the lead into single digits. Statesboro right back. Molly Michael ahead of the pack for two. Brianna Raymond answering on the other end for the Panthers, but the Blue Devils just too much. Deanna Henry with two of her game-high 16, and Statesboro wins easily 57-29. Over to the boys' game we go, and a full house for what's been a pretty competitive game over the past few years, with this year being much of the same. The Blue Devils with the early lead, Cam Harvey, the hoop and the foul. Portal answering inside on the other end as Ronald Williams hits two of his 9 points. But Statesboro applying the pressure, and off the turnover, Mike Solomon with the big two-handed jam, bringing the Statesboro crowd to their feet. Solomon showing his touch as well, draining the fadeaway baseline jumper. More pressure, another turnover resulting in another Solomon one-handed dunk this time. Statesboro hot from behind the arc as well. Sam Townsend for three. Statesboro opens up a 23-6 lead. The Panthers just unable to handle the Statesboro pressure. Another turnover. Solomon two more of his 22, but the Panthers not giving up. Darius Huff to Zach White. Then Huff catches fire from behind the arc here with a couple of three-pointers. Portal on an 18-10 run. Huff with 15 points. The lead cut to 9 at the half, but Statesboro pulls away in the second half. Miles White with the reverse. Jalen Patrick next to Solomon on the break. Statesboro on a 20-3 run. Another nice look inside to Miles White. And finally, check out the bounce pass in transition by Cam Harvey, and Solomon the exclamation point as Statesboro rolls 68-40. Well, Nate, the two teams get at it again coming up Saturday at Statesboro High. Other games this week include Statesboro at Effingham. They also picked up a win this weekend against Liberty. BA at Westminster. Johnson will be at Southeast Bullock on Tuesday night. Savannah Christian at Portal. We'll give the rest of the games coming up on our midweek show.
All right, we're back to wrap things up in just a moment.
Lee Hill and Johnston Insurers. We've been Statesboro's insurance people since 1963. That's a lot of memories. Recognized as one of the leading agencies in Georgia, Lee Hill and Johnston is independent and offers a complete line of personal and business insurance for auto, life, home, and health. We'll shop companies to find the lowest premiums and best coverage for you, your family, or your business. Lee Hill and Johnston Insurers, the insurance people since 1963.
We know how important your family is to you, which is why family medicine is so important to us. At TRICARE Family Medicine, we'll see that your family is in the best possible health. We offer a fun and friendly environment and are now accepting new pediatric and adult patients. Come experience the difference today. Let our family take care of your family at TRICARE Family Medicine, the official family practice of Georgia Southern Athletics.
It's 2015 model sell-off at Franklin Toyota. Now is your best time to buy because every 2015 model must be sold.
Save up to $5,000 off new 2016 Camrys or get 0 APR for 60 months.
Find it today at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Well, Josh, sometimes, now all the time, a lot of things happen certain times of the year after we tape our shows. Hard to believe what's happened with some of the coaching moves. No surprise with Kirby Smart being named to Georgia. Sunday gets a nice contract of $3.7 something.
That's it.
A year for like 6 years or whatever. The surprise during the week, though, was certainly Mark Richt going to the U. Now we can all pull for your school.
There you go.
And you know,
and he went to the championship games around the high school areas, and he was popping the U symbol up there. So I think most Georgia fans want to see him have some success. It's not in their conference, so.
And they're not playing each other.
There you go.
You know, he still gets to play ball.
And I don't think anyone would argue that he's not a good guy.
We know that's not the question. Yeah.
Yep.
The surprise maybe came on Sunday. Will Muschamp getting South Carolina's job. At least I was surprised.
I was a bit surprised too. I didn't see him coming on there.
You know, again, 3 years at Florida. And then he had an embarrassing moment in the Auburn-Alabama game.
To say the least. He went kind of nuts.
But he definitely sold them on that, so that's the direction.
He's passionate.
So anyway, there's still
some would say nuts.
Still a few openings, but unfortunately, as you pointed out to me, or I pointed out to you, after Saturday, let's not worry about our coach.
Yes, I think
I'm glad he's here.
Yes.
All right. We'll have a lot more to cover when we see you next time on Upon Further Review.
Join us again next time for Upon Further Review, brought to you in part by Ogeechee Technical College, Education with Purpose, and by Dr. Lincoln Lippincott with the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro.